Sam never planned to be a hero that rainy afternoon, yet a whimper behind the grocery store dumpster tugged at him. Pushing aside soaked cardboard, he found a skinny brown dog with matted fur and eyes that begged for mercy from a world that had ignored him. The animal tried to back away, yet his trembling legs collapsed, and Sam's heart felt as if someone had wrapped icy fingers around it. He removed his jacket, wrapped the dog gently, and whispered promises he was not yet sure he could keep but knew he had to try. Cars splashed past on the busy street, horns blaring, while Sam focused only on the shivering bundle pressed against his chest. Inside his rusty sedan, he turned the heater to the highest setting, humming softly so the dog could feel a rhythm steadier than thunder. Every red light felt like an hour as Sam willed the tires to spin faster toward the nearest vet clinic still open after dark. The receptionist gasped at the dog's cracked paws and ribs that showed like warped fence posts beneath thin skin. An old veterinarian, glasses fogged by steam from a tea mug, examined the dog and nodded gravely yet kindly at Sam's timing. X-rays showed no broken bones, but the dog's body carried scars that told stories of fights, hunger, and bitter nights alone. While the staff cleaned wounds, Sam waited, shuffling his sneakers over the tiled floor, feeling guilt for every minute before today. The vet returned with a half smile and said the dog needed rest, warmth, and steady meals. She asked for a name to put on the chart, and without thinking, Sam blurted, "Rusty," inspired by the dog's reddish whiskers. Signing forms, Sam realized he had just volunteered to become responsible for a life, and oddly the thought steadied him. He paid what he could, tucked the receipt in his wallet, and accepted a tiny bottle of antibiotics plus instructions as serious as law. Outside, the storm had eased into drizzle, and streetlights painted gold streaks across puddles that mirrored Rusty's wary eyes. Sam laid a blanket on the passenger seat and guided Rusty onto it, careful not to jolt tender muscles still aching from neglect. As he drove home, Rusty rested his muzzle on Sam's knee, a simple touch that felt like a vow spoken without words. Sam promised himself that Rusty would never again wait alone behind dumpsters or shrink from raised voices and flying trash. In that dim drive, man and dog crossed an invisible bridge, and though they did not yet know it, the first plank was trust. The first night at Sam's tiny apartment felt like a gentle tug of war as Rusty explored corners with cautious sniffs, tail tucked but curiosity flickering. Sam set bowls of warm broth and laid blankets near the heater, yet every hallway creak made Rusty dive beneath the table. Determined to build calm routines, Sam studied rescue dog guides and set phone alarms for food, medicine, walks, and soft praise. Within days, Rusty linked the chirping alarm tone with good things, his ears perking a heartbeat before each chime as if he could predict kindness. On day 3, Sam rolled a red tennis ball across the rug. It bumped Rusty's paw and stopped, patient as a question waiting for its answer. Rusty nudged it back, and Sam cheered with a voice bright enough to chase the last shadows from the dog's mind. Each repeat of the game stitched their separate stories into one shared fabric of trust strengthened by every bounce. At night, Sam read adventure tales aloud, letting melodic words wash across the room and settle them both to sleep. Rusty stretched longer each evening, ribs less visible, and his eyes no longer scanned for unseen threats. A week later, the vet peeled off bandages and praised new pink skin where harsh scabs had been, proof of patient care. Brief walks followed, and Rusty tilted his snout toward breezes carrying smells of bakeries, damp grass, and distant river water. Children on bikes waved. One brave girl asked to pet Rusty, and his tail swept the sidewalk like a broom of warm happiness. Her gentle hand landed, and Rusty leaned in, discovering touch that healed instead of hurt, rewriting old lessons. Back home, Sam printed photos of Rusty's progress and taped them on the fridge, a growing gallery of everyday victories. Each picture showed fuller fur, brighter eyes, and a tail held higher, like a rising gauge that measured hope. One soaked evening, Sam told Rusty about work troubles, and the dog listened better than most people, head tilted in sympathy. Rusty's calm helped ideas settle, with solutions surfacing like smooth pebbles revealed when river water recedes after a storm. Sam whispered thanks for Rusty's courage to trust again despite scars etched into skin and soul. Neighbors now greeted Rusty by name during walks, and saying it aloud felt to Sam like ringing a doorbell that opened hearts. Their bond grew like vines on a trellis, strong yet flexible, eager to climb toward warmer, brighter days. Spring arrived with crisp mornings, and Sam decided Rusty was ready for bigger adventures beyond their block. They started with a city park at dawn, when swings were empty and the grass glittered with dew like tiny mirrors. Sam clipped on a neon leash, But Rusty walked so close it felt more like a ribbon of light connecting two friends than a restraint. Birds chirped overhead, and Rusty's ears twitched in tune, matching each song with a silent tilt of curiosity. Sam carried a pouch of kibble pieces, rewarding every calm glance, sit, or heel as if Rusty were earning gold stars in school. Other dogs appeared, noses high and tails wagging, and Rusty stood tall yet gentle, remembering that kindness could start with a sniff. One afternoon, a nervous terrier barked wildly at Rusty, but instead of retreating, Rusty lay down, head low, inviting peace. The terrier's owner thanked Sam, astonished at a rescue dog teaching calm better than many trainers. Inspired, Sam enrolled Rusty in an obedience class held in a warehouse painted bright blue, where echoes of praise bounced off metal walls. Rusty mastered commands quickly, not for treats but for the sparkle of pride he saw in Sam's grin. The instructor suggested agility training, predicting Rusty's lean frame and sharp mind would shine on the course. They practiced weaving through poles and leaping low bars, each success landing like another brick in the foundation of trust. During drills, Sam tripped over a hurdle and scraped his knee, and Rusty hurried back, licking the scrape as if applying a bandage. Sam laughed, realizing the dog who once needed saving now tried to save him in small ways every day. Weekends turned into field trips, hiking trails, riverside picnics, and visits to Sam's parents, each adding a new chapter for their growing story. Sam's mom, once wary of big dogs, found Rusty curling at her feet as she knitted, convincing her that gentle souls come in all shapes. Sam's dad, a retired carpenter, built Rusty a personalized feeding stand from cedar scraps, carving the dog's name into smooth wood. Rusty sniffed the stand, wagging as if reading the letters and thanking the craftsman for thoughtful work. Every new memory layered upon the last, weaving a timeline where loneliness was replaced by partnership rooted in mutual rescue. By summer, Sam could not remember life before Rusty, and every sunrise felt like another chance for their friendship to bloom wider. Late July brought heavy heat and a riverside fair, a bustling maze of bright booths, lively music, and drifting scents of popcorn and cinnamon sugar. Sam volunteered at a lemonade stand raising funds for the shelter that once logged Rusty's rescue number. Rusty rested beside the table on a striped blanket, water bowl near, tail thumping whenever strangers paused to admire his glossy coat and calm posture. Crowds thickened, and cheerful shouts turned tense when a sudden pop of firecrackers sent a toddler stumbling toward the river rail. The child's mother screamed, dropping cotton candy as she lunged too late, arms outstretched but feet frozen by fear. Rusty vaulted the cooler, snapping his leash, ignoring the sting where metal scraped fur and leaving Sam breathless at his speed. He streaked across sun-bleached boards, paws drumming in a rapid beat that sliced through startled fairgoers and halted conversations mid-sentence. Just as the toddler's sandal slipped, Rusty nudged him backward with his shoulder and planted himself as a living shield. Sam arrived seconds later and scooped the sobbing child while Rusty stood steady, ears swiveling for any new threat. Fairgoers gasped, phones lifted, filming the dog who turned from rescue to rescuer in a single heartbeat. Security guards rushed over, but the danger was gone thanks to a four-legged hero with unwavering eyes. The grateful mother hugged Rusty first, tears streaking face pain as she whispered thanks over and over. Reporters pivoted their cameras, and Rusty's act streamed live across the city under scrolling headlines praising second chances. Yet Rusty seemed unaware of sudden fame. He only leaned against Sam's leg, seeking the hand that meant home. The shelter director announced Rusty would be honored at the gala, calling him proof that compassion blooms into miracles. Pride surged through Sam, mingled with awe that their bond ran so deep Rusty acted on instinct grown from trust. That night back home, Sam replayed the scene while Rusty slept, paws twitching as if guarding more children in dreams. Sam knew trust was now a two-way road, carrying courage and loyalty in both directions every day. He printed news screenshots and taped them beside Rusty's recovery photos, turning the fridge into a timeline of victory and gratitude. In the hush after the spotlight, Sam whispered, "You saved him, buddy," and Rusty's tail thumped once, replying, "And you saved me first." Fame followed Rusty into autumn like bright leaves swirling around his paws, yet Sam sought ways to steer the spotlight toward helping others. He enrolled Rusty in a therapy dog certification program, certain the dog's calm nature and recent heroics could comfort people facing their own storms. Training sessions took place in a quiet community center where echoes were soft, instructors kind, and treats plentiful. Rusty practiced remaining still while strangers patted his head, ignoring loud noises, and walking gently beside wheelchairs. Sam marveled at how quickly Rusty adapted, as if he understood that healing others was the next step in mending himself. Upon passing the final test, Rusty received a blue vest embroidered with a white paw print and the words Certified Comfort Companion. Their first assignment was the children's wing of a hospital, painted with murals of smiling animals and hot air balloons. Rusty's paws clicked softly on linoleum as he entered a patient room, tail swaying like a quiet metronome. A boy recovering from surgery gasped at the sight of a real hero dog, and Rusty rested his head in the bed, still as moonlight. The boy read Rusty the opening page of a comic book, voice shaky at first but growing strong with each panel. Nurses whispered that Rusty's visits lowered heart rates and brightened charts more than some medicines could. Later that week, Rusty comforted veterans at a rehabilitation center, sitting beside wheelchairs and offering silent solidarity. One veteran with a prosthetic leg reached down to scratch behind Rusty's ears and said, "You get it, don't you, buddy?" Sam watched tears shine in hardened eyes and realized Rusty bridged gaps words could not cross. Local news ran follow-up stories, but Sam declined interviews unless they included adoption information for other neglected animals. Shelter adoptions spiked, and volunteers said families came in asking for a dog like Rusty, brave, gentle, and ready to love. Sam felt pride but guarded Rusty's quiet evenings, ensuring the dog's own needs never drowned beneath community requests. They spent restful Sundays at a secluded lake, skipping stones, sharing sandwiches, and listening to wind weave through pine needles. On those peaceful shores, Sam whispered hopes for the future, and Rusty answered with soft grumbles that sounded like agreement. Together they discovered that giving back did not empty their well of strength. Instead, it deepened it, filling both hearts to the brim. Winter rolled in with silver frost edging window panes, yet warmth inside Sam's apartment felt stronger than any furnace could provide. Rusty curled on his favorite rug, blue vest hanging on a hook ready for the next visit to someone who needed hope. Sam brewed cocoa and settled beside him, thinking back to the rainy night when a whimper behind a dumpster changed two lives. He realized rescue had never been a one-sided act. It was a handshake where both hands pulled each other away from loneliness. Rusty looked up, golden eyes reflecting sparkling holiday lights, and Sam laughed at the way trust could glow brighter than tinsel. Outside, neighbors built snowmen, and children waved when Rusty poked his head through the curtains like a curious sentinel. Mail arrived with an invitation to speak at a school assembly about responsible pet care and the power of kindness. Sam accepted, planning to let Rusty do most of the talking through wagging tail and calm gaze spoken in silent language. The morning of the event, Sam adjusted Rusty's vest and whispered, ready to teach. Rusty answered by licking his chin. At the school, rows of sixth graders sat cross-legged, eyes wide as Sam told the story in simple words they could repeat at recess. Rusty demonstrated gentle greetings, and every student practiced offering a flat palm, learning respect through small steps. The science teacher asked how strong their bond truly was, and Sam said, strong enough to lift heavy days off each other's shoulders. He explained that love is a muscle. The more you use it, the bigger and steadier it grows, just like Rusty's once fragile frame. Rusty punctuated the lesson by bowing, and the gym erupted in applause like rain on a tin roof. Afterward, several students vowed to volunteer at the shelter, proving the lesson had already sprouted roots in young hearts. Driving home, Sam glimpsed Rusty in the mirror, nose pressed to the cracked window, savoring crisp air flavored with promise and chimney smoke. He pictured future hikes, hospital rounds, and simple evenings sharing popcorn during movie nights under fleece blankets. Sam knew challenges would return, storms, setbacks, maybe even heartbreak, but the bridge between him and Rusty would not break. It had been built with quiet care, brave leaps over coolers, and tender licks on scraped knees, each plank sealed by gratitude. And so the man who never planned to be a hero realized that rescuing a dog had saved him just as surely, forging a bond no storm could fray. Evening settled over Sam's small living room. Amber light kissed the floor while Rusty curled at his feet inside a quilt of quiet. Sam opened his weathered leather journal, wanting to trap every hard-won lesson their winding journey had etched before memory faded into haze over the decades ahead. He wrote that courage sometimes walks on four legs, hidden by mud and fear, until someone chooses to look closer and say, "You still matter." Patience, he noted, is counted in calm breaths beside a friend who still startles but keeps trying, refusing to surrender. Kindness, he added, echoes louder than thunder when tucked into small acts. A blanket, a bowl, a gentle word. Rusty lifted his head at the pen's scratch, leaned against Sam's shin, and huffed as if signing the page. Snowflakes drifted under the street lamp, each unique yet united like strangers who helped stitch Rusty's new life. Sam pictured the vet's steady hands, the fair crowd's cheers, and the nurse smiling when Rusty nudged the call button. Every face had threaded bright color into the tapestry of second chances, now draped invisibly yet securely around man and dog, glowing in Sam's mind. Sam realized rescue is a circle. Love flows out, gains strength elsewhere, then returns home richer, never ending. Inspired, he planned a coat drive, imagining Rusty greeting donors and proving goodwill can wag a tail. Rusty yawned, reminding Sam that grand ideas rest on simple needs, steady warmth, nourishing food, and unshakable trust. Sam tucked a photo of day one, skinny Rusty in a rain-soaked jacket, between the pages like a medal of honor earned through compassion. He whispered, "We've come far, buddy," and Rusty's tail thumped a rhythm announcing Hope's next song to the quiet apartment walls. A mellow carol floated from the radio, and inside it Sam heard the heartbeat of animals still waiting in shelters. He vowed to visit tomorrow with treats and stories, sure Rusty's tale would spark another rescue. Rusty circled twice on the rug, then sighed deeply, trusting tomorrow because yesterday had been rewritten with kindness. Snow piled on the sill, yet inside pinned scratches, candlelight and soft paws spun a warmth no frost could invade, no wind could steal. Sam dimmed the lamp, leaving the trees' gold glow and peppermint air, while peace settled deep and sure, anchoring the night. As sleep took them, their breaths fell in sync, a promise that chosen love never lets go, even when storms roar outside.